Hello, this is the Blitz with Scott Long, and I'm fielding a call from Gabe Oldshine from Gettysburg, New York, Pennsylvania.
Hello.
Hey, Gabe. Today we're going to talk about the wild card game. What did you think of the game last night?
It's pretty wild that it went innings. Also, I didn't think the Cubs season would end so quickly, honestly.
Personally, I thought the Cubs were going to be the World Series favorite for the National League.
Really.
And-
I think
Go
the
ahead.
playoffs are just very interesting this year because you got like the Brewers and the Rockies and teams you don't usually see.
Yeah, exactly. Tony Walters, of all guys, the unlikely hero.
Yeah. I actually have to watch the game, but I heard the pitching was amazing.
Yeah, I stayed up the whole night, watched the game. I was planning on going to bed early, and the game just kept going.
Yeah, I couldn't do that to myself.
I tried not to, but I just couldn't turn it off. Lester and
good?
Freeland both pitched great games. Both bullpens pitched great. I don't know what it was. Neither team could hit, even though they both have stacked lineups.
What was the final score?
2-1. Tony Walters hit like a dribbler up the middle to make the Cubs go down 2-1. And then Scott Oberg closed it out for the Rockies. Crazy game, and now you got tonight with the A's starting a relief pitcher.
Yeah. They're starting with a relief pitcher?
Yeah, I don't even know what the guy's name is. He is not even their best reliever. They're starting him, and then I guess maybe moving to Fires afterwards. I don't know.
Oh, like the Rays did with Romo this year.
Yeah,
That actually worked out for them, though. So, good work.
and I guess the A's don't really have that many great pitchers, so maybe that's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And their bullpen's stacked with Familia
How,
and Trinan and Trevino.
how crazy would it be if both Yankees and Cubs got eliminated in the wild card?
That would be crazy.
You got the A's and the Rockies.
Personally, I'm hoping it's either the Rockies or Brewers wins the National League.
I think the Brewers have a real shot.
I think they're gonna. I thought the Cubs were their only competition, and now I think it's Dodgers.
You don't think LA has?
I think the Dodgers are their competition. I don't think the Rockies really are going to go anywhere.
I don't see the Braves really going anywhere either.
Braves will be good in a year or two, but I don't see them as a real legit contender right now because of the pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, who do they have?
Their middle infield is so nice though. It's so young.
Not even just
Swanson and Albie.
Swanson's out, I think. I don't think he's playing the rest of this year. Or at least this
No, I'm
series.
saying for like next year.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then you add in Acuna, Freeman, and Inciarte. They're loaded.
Yeah. He's gonna get some pitching.
Yeah, exactly. I like Vizcaino in the bullpen. He looks promising. But their starting lineup is a little iffy. I mean, starting rotation.
Who's their ace?
I don't even know, honestly. They have Sean Newcomb.
Oh, I actually like him.
He's pretty good, but I don't know if he's really
not
an
like
ace.
a good playoff starter. I don't feel like.
I think he's a good second or third starter. I don't know about number one.
Yeah.
I feel like they have someone else pretty good, but I don't know if this is their year.
They're definitely gonna. I definitely see them winning the East again next year, though.
In that light, who you guys your World Series prediction?
I can't pick against the Red Sox. I can't. I think they're going to beat Houston this year.
You think?
I think Red Sox over Milwaukee.
See, I'm very similar. I like the Red Sox this year, but I got Houston over Milwaukee. I just like Houston's lineup and pitching staff. I think their pitching staff's a little deeper than the Red Sox.
But how cool would a Boston and New York series be?
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be very cool. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't like the Yankees personally, but I am kind of hoping that they win this wild card game just because That would be a much more exciting game.
I like the Athletics. Like I like the underdog, but the Yankees are just too exciting of a team. And I don't know.
I know, I agree completely.
They'd make the postseason so much better, even though I don't think they'd get past Boston or anyone.
Plus, that rivalry is just something that everyone's going to want to watch, you know?
Yeah.
They,
Plus, it's like Oakland. No one really.
I know they don't have any star power, Oakland.
Like, it's a nice story. They have a nice story, but I don't know.
I don't know. They don't have anyone that like scares me. That I can think like, oh man, you got to watch out for this guy. Like their only real star is Chris Davis, and he's not.
Yeah.
He's just a power hitter. He's not
They
like.
They don't have great pitching either.
I know their relief pitching's good, but their starters aren't that good. Especially because Manaea is out for the year.
Yeah, he's probably out for next year too, right?
Yeah, they're saying he's missing most of next year. So now they got Mike Fiers as their ace, and I don't even know anyone else in their rotation. Brett Anderson, maybe? But I think awards races, I think Yelich and Betts are going to be the MVP in my eyes.
It's got to be Yelich. You don't think Martinez?
He doesn't play the field is the thing with me.
Oh, it's true.
He's DHing for them, or else I would say probably him. I mean, the AL MVP is loaded.
Him and Yelich both came very close to Triple Crown, right?
I know. Martinez would have won the Triple Crown, but Betts, his own teammate, had a better average.
Yeah, I think Chris Davis hit like 1 or 2 or like 5 more home runs or something.
Oh, yeah, he caught fire the last week.
Yeah, I think he finished like 48, and Martinez had like 43 or something like that.
But, I mean, Yelich came out of nowhere. He was always a good player, but he turned into an absolute stud this year.
Brewers fans didn't even like that trade when it happened.
I know. All the Brewers
They
fans
gave
were
up
ripping
Louis
it.
Brinson.
Yeah, exactly. And Brinson doesn't even look that good.
No. I think when you play in Miami right now, it's just kind of a mess.
I know. That team is a mess. But on the note of Yelich, even during this year, I was hearing a lot of people saying that they might trade him in the offseason because they need pitching. I saw a report saying, could the Mets trade Syndergaard for Yelich?
Jeez.
It was proposing Yelich and Chase Anderson. No, Yelich and Zach Davies in exchange for Syndergaard and Nimmo, which I thought was a little much. Maybe instead of one of their starters, because I don't think they have.
Davies had a few good years, right? Davies?
Yeah, I don't really like him, though. I don't think he's anything special. I'm thinking maybe if the Mets got a reliever instead, then maybe it'd be a fair trade instead of Davies. Like maybe if it was Jeffress or Hader.
Yeah, Hader's really good.
I know, that guy came out of nowhere, too.
Yeah. He got like 8 strikeouts against the Mets.
Yeah, he had
in like 2 innings.
I think he set a record. He had a three inning relief appearance, and he struck out all 9 batters.
Yeah.
He was like the first player ever to do that. So you got Betts or Martinez for MVP? Or do you have Ramirez or one of the other guys?
I still say Martinez. I don't know. But you're right with the fielding point. That could make.
I don't know. I
Betts.
mean, you can't really go wrong with either one. They're both They're both stars on the best team in the league this year. So.
Also, I feel like any other year Ramirez would win.
I know, and everyone forgets about
He's
Trout.
not even really. Yeah.
Trout's having another great year. It's just he missed a little time.
Who were like the runner-ups to Yelich, you think?
Arenado, maybe. Carpenter was at one point, but he kind of fell off.
Oh, he had that. I think like once the summer started, he just went on fire.
Yeah, he stunk at the first month or two in the season. As soon as they fired Matheny, all of a sudden he started hitting home runs
Well,
like
that whole
every game.
team turned around.
Unfortunately, they didn't make it far enough to make the playoffs, but they always make the playoffs, so I don't really feel bad for them. They're always a playoff team.
They always have random guys that catch
Exactly.
fire.
They never have star power. The guys are always just happen to be good. Freeman's
How about the
another
story
candidate.
The Matt Holliday story with the Rockies is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was shocked he was playing last night.
Yeah.
I saw the lineup. I was like, I don't even think he's been playing with them, and now all of a sudden they started him like in a playoff game. But Cy Young, I do think DeGrom's got it locked down now.
if DeGrom doesn't win, it'll be such a ripoff.
Wins don't matter to them.
They can't give it to anyone else but DeGrom.
His ERA is just so much better than everyone else's. Like,
what was it? Did he even finish with the winning record?
Yeah, he's 10-9.
Okay.
Because he
so
went.
That'll help him, I guess.
That last outing was a freaking gem.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful game. Like 8 innings. He was dominant.
That rotation next year with DeGrom, Wheeler, if he can keep up, and if Syndergaard has a bounce back year.
Yeah, Syndergaard didn't even pitch his best this year, and he still had a low 3 ERA. And I'm not a huge fan of Matt's right now, but as your 4, I will take it. He's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Like,
also, I don't know if he'll be a big part of the team next year, but Vargas really picked it up.
Yeah, he did pitch really well the second half. But I also saw that they're considering moving Lugo to the rotation, which I don't agree with at all.
No, he was good in the bullpen.
He was good in the bullpen, and they don't have anyone there. I don't know. I think they need to leave him in the bullpen because he was the only guy who I trusted at the end of the year. Gazelman faded. Blevins wasn't as good as usual. Swarzak was a bust.
Yeah, Swarzak was such a bust. Seawald was hot like the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then
the whole bullpen was good the first 3 weeks.
Well, the team was perfect.
I still think Gazelman can be a solid bullpen piece. I know he had a bad second half, but I think he can bounce back. It was his first year in the bullpen, so it was a little bit of an adjustment, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't want him as a guy you rely on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He could be like your 3rd or 4th option, but I don't want him being your closer. I don't trust him enough there.
If they want to compete next year, they got to go for someone big this offseason.
I would love Machado, but I know that's not happening.
Yeah, who else is supposed to be a free agent?
Craig Kimbrell.
Ooh, could be nice.
Mets get their closer. I don't see it happening, but.
No, yeah, neither do I. But
see, I'd rather them go and get 2 or 3 really good or under the radar bullpen guys than just get Kimbrell. Like if they could go out and get Cody Allen, Sean Doolittle, and Ottavino, I would be happy with that.
Oh, that's what we thought we were getting with Swarzak.
I know.
Under the radar, decent, reliable guy.
Yeah, exactly. They could have signed Reed for the same money and they let him walk.
Yeah.
He was so good with the Mets too, Reed. Who do you think's the AL Cy Young?
I don't know.
I have Blake Snell.
Oh, actually, yeah. Isn't his ERA 1.9?
Yeah. The problem with him is
he didn't even make the All-Star team. He had to get.
I know he was like a alternate.
Yeah, he was like reserve or something like that.
The problem with Snell is he only threw 175 innings, I think. But still, that's a great ERA.
Isn't that with Sale too? He didn't pitch enough innings.
Yeah, Sale threw 150. He didn't qualify for the ERA title. His ERA was barely higher, but he didn't have enough innings, so.
Yeah.
You could also argue Verlander or Kluber. Verlander pitched great this year, but.
Yeah, that whole rotation is amazing.
I don't get what they're doing there, that all these guys, they looked like they were done, and now they're stars again.
Wasn't Trevor Bauer also?
Yeah, Bauer was until he got hurt. He missed the last month and a half.
Really?
I mean, look at the guys the Astros have. You got Verlander, Cole, Charlie Morton.
Yeah, Charlie Morton.
Morton was never good, and now all of a sudden he's a star. Garrett Cole looked like he was okay,
Garrett
but
Cole
not.
Was always decent.
He was always hit or miss. He'd have a lot of really good games, but he'd also be bad. Now he's an elite pitcher again.
Mm-hmm.
And Verlander looked like he's ready to retire, and then all of a sudden gets traded there, and he's top 5 pitcher again. And not even to mention McCullers and Keuchel, who they also have.
Yeah. Keuchel had that one amazing season.
I know.
2 years ago.
Keuchel was their ace 3 years ago, and now he's their 5th best pitcher.
Yeah. Imagine he goes back to what he was.
I know. I would be sick. And their bullpen is stacked, too. They have McHugh in the bullpen now, too, who was a good starter for them last year.
points did the Red Sox finish with?
I think 108 or 109.
What's the record?
I think it was like 116 with the Mariners. They didn't even win the World Series that year. They lost.
Yeah, so no one even really that record doesn't even really matter.
Exactly. They didn't even make it to the World Series, I don't think. I think they lost to the Yankees in like the
Really?
championship series. Yankees were stacked at that point, but so were the Mariners. Yankees broke that Mariners record this year with most home runs in a season.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what I'm saying. They'll be so exciting in the postseason.
I don't think they have the pitching to go anywhere, though. They could win tonight, but I don't know if they can win in
Who's
the
pitching
series.
tonight for them? Is it Hap?
It's Severino.
Really?
But supposedly they announced he's only going through the lineup one time. And then they're going to the bullpen. I mean, they can win with
I
that.
would've went Hap. I feel like Hap's a guy who's not going to get blown up, but he'll keep you in the game.
Exactly. Even
He's not
CeCe. CeCe's shown he's consistent in the playoffs.
Who'd you say?
CeCe.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know he's old and he doesn't have his best stuff anymore, but he's consistently played well in the playoffs, and you know what you're going to get from him. I mean, last year, didn't Severino go a third of an inning in that wild card game?
Yeah.
They still won it somehow, but... So I got Yelich and Betts MVP, DeGrom and Snell Cy Young, and then Rookie of the Year, I got Acuna and Ohtani. What about you?
Definitely Acuna.
I mean, some people think Soto, but I just think Acuna missed a ton of time, and he still is like the same numbers. And he's going to be a top 5 player in the league in a few years. He is a very talented player.
I think you can give it to Ohtani, too.
I think Andujar has better overall numbers, but the fact that Ohtani was like the pitcher and hitter, I don't know. I feel like they might give it to him just because he missed a ton of time.
All the hype he's gotten.
Yeah, and he did play well. It was just injuries that he didn't get to play the whole year.
Andujar was very good for the Yankees, though.
I know. And I mean, you had Torres in the conversation, too, for a while, but he wasn't good in the second half.
Yeah.
And think at the beginning of the year, the Yankees fans said they wouldn't trade Torres or Andujar, either one of them, for DeGrom.
Well, they'd never do a trade anyway.
Oh, I know they wouldn't, but Yankee fans said they wouldn't trade.
Yeah.
They don't even need those two. They could go out and sign Machado in the
Imagine
offseason
they
if they
had
wanted to.
DeGrom for tonight.
Jesus. They would be loaded.
Wow.
I wouldn't give them a shot of losing that game if DeGrom was pitching with that lineup.
Yeah.
Like, look at that stat. DeGrom would be 30-0 if the Mets scored 4 runs a game. He didn't give up more than 3 runs the entire season. That's crazy. How'd you feel about Wright's send-off?
Should give him more innings.
I know. I didn't agree with that. I thought I don't know why you put him in if you're only going to play him 4 innings.
Also, it wasn't really... Ever he got a hit.
I know. I was hoping he got a hit, but I wasn't expecting him to. At least he walked.
Imagine he got like a walk-off home run.
That would be crazy. That would be like what Jeter did.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Wright, though. He had a shot of being a Hall of Famer, and now he's the best.
But how many games has he been playing those last 3 years? Probably.
He hadn't played in 2.5 years, and that last year was the World Series year that he actually played a full season, and he didn't even play a full season there.
Right?
He missed 3/4 of the season and came back after the trade deadline. So, and even ever since he signed that contract, he's had 2 years where he was healthy, and other than that, he was on a Hall of Fame trajectory is the thing, too. He's the second best third baseman, in my opinion, of this generation, behind only Beltre.
Really? You got Beltre?
Yeah, Beltre is better than him. Beltre is a definite Hall of Famer.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah, he might be retiring. He's 39.
It's weird. A bunch of players they're done after this year, like Mauer, Beltre, Wright.
I saw Pence is done too, supposedly.
Yeah, he's done.
He fell off fast too.
Yeah, but he was good in this. He was really good in his prime.
He was always so unorthodox the way he played, but he always did like it just looked
When
weird
he
the way he was doing
swings,
it.
so ugly.
I know, but it always got the job
works.
done. Now we got Le'Veon saying he's back week 7. What do you think of that?
I believe him. He's coming back. I don't think the Steelers will have a winning record, but
Okay, well. They got a tough game this week against the Falcons. Both teams are very similar, though, right now. They both got losing records.
There's going to be like 100 points in that game.
I know. Neither team has a defense.
I don't know. The Steelers this year are just so weird.
See, I should have known that the Steelers weren't going to play well. Look what happens when you pick your playoff prediction. You picked Steelers, Falcons in the Super Bowl, and look what's happened. You cursed them.
I did not think. Well, the Falcons have also been very unlucky.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. They've lost Keanu Neal for the year, Ricardo Allen for the year. Deion Jones is on IR, but he could return. And didn't Beasley get hurt this week too?
Yeah. Also, you were missing Freeman.
Yeah.
But he's back.
I don't think that was
fine.
as big of a deal because they have Coleman.
I like Coleman better, honestly.
It wasn't a big deal that they lost Freeman because they have Tevin Coleman, and even Ito Smith's not bad. The big question is, though, do you think Le'Veon will be traded, or do you think he'll be a Steeler when he returns?
I don't know. It's such a crazy situation. I think he can go either way, honestly. But the Steelers really, they definitely play him when he comes back.
Oh, he will definitely play when he comes back, but I don't think he's going to be good the first week or two he comes back because I think that's how it was last year. He started off so slow because he was rusty, and then he broke out and was a star again when he finally got his legs ready. But
I could definitely see him being traded, though, actually.
I don't know.
Only a few teams can have him if they really want to keep him.
I'd be shocked if he was traded only because of the cap hit that he's got and the fact that he's done after the year and he hasn't even signed his franchise tag yet. I don't know. I feel like there's too many moving parts to get it done in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But he will definitely be gone after this year. He will not be a Steeler after this year.
But if you're the Steelers and you know he's going to be gone, wouldn't you want to get something from him? Wouldn't you try
It depends
anything?
if you think he can put you over the top and win the Super Bowl this year.
I guess it depends where they are at week 7 or week 8 when he comes back.
Exactly. And the other thing is, they do get a third-round pick if he leaves as a free agent, when he leaves as a free agent. Because that's how, the compensatory pick thing works. He's made a certain amount of Pro Bowls, so you get a third-round pick for him. That's the best return you can get from a compensatory pick. But they could get at least a second from him if they tried trading him.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, the team, it's very weird, right? Because the team that trades for him, they can't officially sign,
Yeah, they could verbally agree to a deal, but they're not allowed to sign him until after the year ends.
Yeah, which means he could just do the same thing he did in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he could say he'll sign a deal, and then if he plays really well, he could say, "Oh, I'm worth more than that now."
Yeah.
You never know.
I mean, it's annoying that he's not playing, but it makes sense when you look at guys like Earl Thomas, who just got screwed.
I agree with that, but at the same time, Le'Veon's getting rid of $7 million by not playing all these weeks.
He's losing so much money.
And you can't get those games back. I don't know. He's also more likely to get hurt now that he hasn't been playing because his body's not going to be used to it.
True.
So he could easily hurt himself when he's playing because they're going to throw him right back into the fire and give him the same amount of touches they usually do.
He also hasn't been the most mature player you want to invest so much money into a long-term deal for. But
that's why I don't agree.
He's definitely worth it.
That's why I don't agree with what they I don't agree with him holding out and wanting more money because they offered him a big contract. It wasn't quite what Gurley got, but Gurley's younger, so he's got more time before he's going to wear out. Le'Veon might have reached his peak already. You don't know because he might start plateauing.
26,
yeah,
27?
He's 26. And running backs don't play that long. So
he's got
2-3 good years left.
Maybe 3 good years left.
And
I still think he could be valuable when he's older, though.
Yeah, he could, but he won't be worth the big money he's going to be being paid.
Yeah.
And the other thing is he's also been hurt several times, and he's been caught with drug suspensions multiple times. So is it really worth paying a guy $16 million a year for that long term?
He's not very mature.
He's not mature. He's not durable at all, and I don't know. There's no question he's talented enough to get that money, but
although if he was traded to the Jets, he'd be my favorite player.
I could see him being a Jet, honestly.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think he's going to be a Jet, a Colt, or a Lion next season. And the Lions look increasingly less likely because Kerryon Johnson looks like he could be pretty good.
I don't know if I'd want the Le'Veon behind that Colts O-line, though.
I don't know. He may not have a great O-line, but it'll help Luck because it'll give him another weapon to throw to, and it'll also take pressure off of him because they won't only try and, blitz him. They'll have to respect the run, too.
The Colts are wasting Luck.
He's such a talented player. He'd be in the Breeze, Brady, Rodgers conversation if... I think he's one of the most talented quarterbacks ever, but they always get him hurt. I'm even hearing rumors that Le'Veon could be like a Seahawk or a Texan, which I don't see.
No, I don't see that either. Although him and Russell Wilson would be very fun.
I know, but they just drafted Rashad Penny in the first round. I don't see him giving up that quickly now.
True.
And other people are saying, maybe the Rams. Why would the Rams trade for him?
That makes no sense.
What would you use him and Gurley with? And they already have 3 receivers, so you don't need another receiver. I don't know. I don't get that idea. And then others are saying the Eagles. The Eagles are loaded in the backfield, too.
Yeah, they got a nice committee.
They got Clement, Ajayi, and Sproles. Even, what's his name? Wendell Smallwood.
Wendell Smallwood.
All these guys are pretty good. Obviously, Le'Veon's better than all of them, but I don't know if you need him.
Yeah. And now, in football now, the committee is... A lot of teams use the committee because it's just...
It's probably the trend now because you don't have to pay someone. And you get more time out of them, and you're less likely for them to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And the only teams you got...
It's going to be weird when Bell comes back after with his team.
I know. I don't know how that's going to shape up in the locker room.
It was literally the whole line.
I know. Not even just the O-line. Other people were probably saying stuff, but no one else came out and said it. Ben came out and just said, I'm not worrying about him now. But they're all talking about him in the locker room.
The only guy who really, publicly defended him was Brown.
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me. But,
yeah, he's getting a little annoyed this year, too. He's got to calm himself down. He's annoyed that he's not getting the targets. He is getting the targets. He's just not getting the catches. They're triple covering him because there's no running back that they have to worry about.
That's why Juju's having a great year.
Exactly. Why would the Steelers throw to him and make it a much less likely chance that he gets catch than he's being triple covered, Juju's being single covered? Why would you throw to him? Eventually they'll learn and they'll take guys off of AB, and then he'll be his superstar receiver self again. But right now it doesn't make sense to throw to him.
All the receivers are like that, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Julio's really the only one who doesn't act like that, and it looks like Thomas, too, who's starting to become an absolute monster.
I don't know what happened to their defense.
Yeah, they were pretty good last year, and now they're awful.
Their defense was it was good enough for Drew Brees in the offense. But...
Yeah, exactly. Now you got the guys coming back off suspension. You got Ingram, Edelman, Fontez Perfect. What do you think of these guys coming off? You think anyone's going to be not quite as good?
I don't see. I think Kamara has kind of really solidified himself. I don't know how Ingram's going to fit in, honestly.
I agree, and I also think Ingram had a career year last year. I don't know if it's.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's repeatable. Not that he's going to be bad, but.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how Edelman will be now with Gordon in the mix.
I don't know how much they're going to actually use Gordon, and I do think Edelman will be good just because Brady's going to feed him the underneath routes. No one else there
Yeah.
does that. And that's going to help the Pats that they have someone else to throw to because teams are just making sure Gronk doesn't get the ball.
Do you think Gordon will have a career year?
I
Or
don't-
only have like one full season?
I don't know if Gordon's ever going to return to his.
Really?
I think he's a great talent, but I don't know. I don't know if he can keep himself clean off the field. And any mistake he makes in New England, he's going to be
Yeah.
ridiculed for it.
They're not gonna have it.
They're not going to put up with anything. Even if it's like he's lazy on his routes, they're going to not put up with it.
Yeah. I saw that they put Gordon right next to Brady in the locker room.
Well, Gordon did like give up his number just so Brady could have it.
Yeah.
Brady didn't deserve that
Yeah.
number. What do you think of the 4-0 teams? Who you think's got? You think Chiefs or Rams? Who you got?
I think Rams.
Yeah, I
McVay
think
and Goff. McVay is perfect for that offense. McVay's a genius.
that team is just so well built. They're good at everything.
I thought they'd have like a good year. I thought they'd be like 10-6, but I don't know. They look unstoppable right now.
I thought the
No,
same
they're-
thing as you. I thought they'd be a good team. They'd be like NFC championship maybe, but I wasn't living up to the hype quite as much because usually the like star dream teams don't
Yeah.
work out in the NFL. But this looks like a really good team.
right now. I think the Chiefs are going to slow down.
Yeah, they will slow
I
down.
don't think they're going to like collapse like last year, but they'll definitely slow down.
I like Mahomes, but I'm still not 100% sold on him. But I do like him more after this week because this was the first test, in my opinion, playing against the Broncos defense. It was the first real star defense that he's played.
And he threw lefty.
Yeah, that was a crazy play.
I think he might have the biggest arm in the league right now.
Him or Stafford, those two have. Thing with Mahomes is, I feel like he's going to have to keep up this ridiculous level of play for them to win because their defense isn't any good.
Yeah. I think the Broncos are probably regretting Case Keenum right now.
Yeah, probably. He's not playing awful, but he's not doing anything. They should have went and drafted their QB. Then
They
again,
have Chad Kelly, who people like, but
Mr. Irrelevant.
yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a cool.
Yeah, that
story.
would be a good story. Like, I feel like that's almost more unlikely than being an undrafted free agent sometimes.
Yeah,
Because the last pick's usually just a guy that, like, people know or has, like, one distinguishable trait but isn't that good. Now we even got the rookies getting on the field this year, all these quarterbacks. Who you got? Who's your favorite?
it's gotta be Donald.
Even with the 1-3 record, he's still impressing you?
It's not really. If you watch the games, it's really not his fault. I feel like, but he's not really getting a lot of help from his receivers. But
I completely agree. I think they're gonna have to go out and get him a line in the offseason and get him a couple good weapons on the outside.
and now they're talking about firing Bowles this offseason.
No, that should not happen. You got to leave some stability to let Darnold grow.
I don't know, but people want an offensive-minded coach for him.
I don't know. I think they could be fine because they're built on defense right now. Like,
But if they can get their own McVay,
true.
Although I don't know if you can replicate McVay.
Yeah, but how many guys are there out there like McVay? Honestly, like,
I don't know. I think I like Baker.
I know he's playing pretty well, but I'm
so
still
lucky
not.
yet.
I mean, he's played the Jets and the Raiders, so it's not like he's played great.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, he put up 42 this week, but he was playing the Raiders, and I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on him yet, and I don't like his attitude.
really, you don't like him. You don't like him as a guy.
I don't know. I just feel like he could get himself into trouble, put his foot in his mouth the way he's talking,
Yeah,
and I don't think he should have been the first overall pick. Not that he's going to be like a bad quarterback. I just don't think he's going to be great, and I think
You can judge
Rosen,
Darnold.
Allen, and Darnold all have more upside. Not that they'll be better, but I think they all have more upside, and a few of them are even safer, in my opinion.
I think Rosen is probably the safest QB.
Yeah.
I think so, at least.
Yeah, I would agree. I like Darnold.
Allen.
Allen is talented, but he is definitely a risk.
Yeah.
I mean, last week he did absolutely nothing, but the week before he beats the Vikings. And
he hurdled 2 guys.
2 rushing touchdowns from a guy who's not even supposed to be a runner. I personally like Allen, but I don't think he's going to be the best of the QBs just because of the situation he's in. And I think
he'll be the best.
I got either Rosen or Darnold, depending on how each team sets up their team around him. I like both of them. I think Rosen's the only pure pocket passer in this quarterback class that will replicate the Breeze, Brady, Ben.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Baker was definitely a flashy pick, but I don't know. People are shocked. And the Browns went on him first overall.
And then they went Ward 4th, which is also shocking to me.
Although Ward does look very good.
He has looked very good. I will give him that, but I thought they should have picked Chubb.
How's Chubb been doing?
I don't know, honestly, but...
yeah, I haven't heard much about him.
I don't know if it's just because he's on the Broncos and they're not making a lot of news. I'm not really sure.
They're kind of a pretty boring team right now.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a shame that Jimmy G went down.
Yeah. That's why they're trying to protect all these quarterbacks. With all these ridiculous roughing the passing calls.
Yeah.
That's got to change.
Dolphins D lineman got hurt.
Yeah, he tried.
His body weight.
Exactly. I don't know. I think that's got to change that rule. They got to make it something clear. How can you not fall on the quarterback? You're tackling him.
Yeah, honestly.
That week 3 call against Matthews was the worst one of all. That was just a routine sack.
Matthews has been getting screwed over.
At least the other 2 were late. They shouldn't have been penalties, but they were a little late. That one was, he was still holding the ball.
I think Matthews he's had the most roughing the passing calls, right?
Yeah.
And they've been in the worst situations.
Exactly. They've been in the last drive of a game.
Yeah. They would have beat the Vikings in week 2, I think.
I know, they would have. And they probably would have won. Wait, did they win week 1? Yeah, they did, but...
Yeah, but it was very close.
Almost lost to Mack, the guy who's absolutely carrying the Bears.
Right now, that defense is scary right now.
That defense is scary, but I don't know how far they'll go based on Trubisky's talent. I know he threw 6 touchdowns this week, but I'm not a believer in Mitch.
Really?
I think
he needs another year before he's really, I don't know, he just doesn't look...
I don't know, he looks like a college quarterback to me. He doesn't...
That Bears-Packers game, he didn't look, I don't know.
I know what you mean. To me, he looks like a college quarterback. He doesn't look like he's a pro-style guy.
Yeah.
I think he could be a mediocre quarterback, but I don't think he's ever going to be worthy of that second pick.
It's crazy to think right now Mahomes went 10 picks after Trubisky.
And Watson, too. Watson had a great year last year. I know he looks rough this year, but he's shown more promise. Yeah, he did. I think they'll both be better than Trubisky. And the fact that they traded up to get him from 3 to 2, which no one was going to trade up for him. I'm not just saying this now. I thought at the time he wasn't going to be good. I didn't like him coming out of college. He had the small sample size, 1 year playing.
There's something about him I liked, but now he doesn't look. Who knows though? He had a really good game. Maybe he can.
He's not going to be as good as his top receiver, Ryan Switzer, was, though. The guy the Steelers traded for.
He was on 3 teams in 9 months.
Yeah. He had 9 catches this week, but he had 37 yards.
Really?
I don't know why. The Steelers are lining him up at running back a lot. He's a small, short, skinny, white guy. Yeah, he's their kick returner. He's actually looked pretty well there. It's the first guy they've had there in a while that's been pretty good. Of all these teams that have losing records right now, do you think any of them are done? Like the teams like the Steelers, the Vikings, the Texans, the Falcons. You think any of them can recover from that?
I think so. I don't really know about the Steelers, but for some reason I really like the Falcons, even though they have all these injuries.
The only team I don't know if can come back from it is the Texans. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're on the back of a young quarterback, so I don't know if they can recover from that. I still think they're way too talented to be this bad.
Yeah.
They should be a good team.
People don't like Bill O'Brien now.
I don't know. I think he's a very good coach.
People think he's not a good fit for Watson.
They've done nothing but like exceed expectations with his roster. He hasn't had a quarterback. This is the first quarterback he's had, and he's made the playoffs 2 or 3 times, and gone 8-8 like every other year.
Yeah, I think he went 9-7, 8.
Last year was the first year they were really bad, but like they had a quarterback finally, and he went out for the year.
Yeah,
and
they were
had
good when Watson played.
And then they lost Watt. They lost Merciless.
Yeah.
And Watt looks like he's back.
Yeah.
He looks like
Hopefully
he's prime Watt.
This year.
Yeah, he's a good story. He's always a good guy off the field. He's always a good guy on the field. I hope he succeeds.
Yeah.
He's a good guy to root for. And his brother looks almost as good as him, if not better.
Who, TJ?
Yeah. Guy looks like a star in the making. Not to mention Derek Watt, of course.
Yeah.
Star fullback.
The fullback. I feel like every star has a brother that's a fullback. Like
Gronk. Is he even in the league, that other guy?
I know he was on the Patriots at one point. I don't know if he's still there.
Yeah, I don't know if he's even in the league anymore.
Did you hear about a few weeks ago that rumor about Gronkowski almost traded to the Lions?
Yeah. It's crazy. I'm wondering if this is the end of the era there.
I don't know. I think they got a few more years.
I think
I'm very glad they don't have Garoppolo anymore.
I don't think it's going to end until Brady gets hurt. I think that's when it's going to end.
There's no way he plays till he's 45, but
I know. He's going to get hurt at some point. There's no way. He's going to break down at some point, and someone's going to hit him.
Rules, he might be.
Yeah, true.
He might be safe.
I feel like he's going to have to break down at some point, and if not, then he's just going to start going downhill, like talent-wise.
He's only had one major injury, right?
Yeah, and it was like when he was like 28.
Yeah.
What was that? 07, 08, 09, something like that.
I think it was like 09, something like that. Yeah.
And they still went 11-5 that year with Matt Castle.
Matt Castle.
They missed the playoffs, but they went 11-5.
That system is definitely QB friendly, but
you can't take away from what Brady.
People say.
You can't take away from what Brady did, but
just because of what the situation he's in.
But I do think if you put Rodgers in that system, he would be better than Brady.
Yeah, well, Rodgers is just so talented.
Rodgers, in my opinion, is the most talented player ever, quarterback-wise.
He needs a few more Super Bowls, though.
I don't think he'll go down as the greatest of all time just because of the Super Bowls, but that's not completely his fault. They haven't put anything around him.
It's crazy to think that just the Packers had Favre and Rodgers, and only how many Super Bowls do they have to show for it?
One.
Like, jeez. Favre didn't win one Super Bowl?
No, they've won one each, I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's crazy. And same thing with the Colts. They've had Luck and Peyton. I know they had the one down year with Curtis Painter, but I mean, you go, what is that, like 30 years maybe with two of them? Not 30, like 25 maybe?
Yeah.
And they have one ring. Well, because they can't protect Luck.
They haven't been in the playoffs since like 2015, right? Or 2014?
Yeah. And even when they made the playoffs back then, they didn't have anyone. It was just Luck was carrying them.
Yeah. Yeah, people forget how good Luck was.
Exactly. Like, that one playoff game against the Chiefs just shows how great he was. That comeback, you remember that game?
Uh-huh.
That was one of the best games I've seen. That was a very exciting
slowly
game.
Becoming the Derrick Rose of the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate when guys have so much talent and then one injury just destroys them.
Yeah.
Except in Luck, it's just been like numerous injuries because he gets beat up every time he goes on the field.
And then how badly they handled his injury last year.
I know.
Like,
Didn't they like send him to Europe to try and fix it?
yeah. They were like, oh, he's throwing footballs. And then they're like, well, they're not NFL-sized footballs.
Oh my God, it's crazy with him.
Yeah, Rodgers and Luck both deserve better.
I think if they were in a situation like Brady, just
Yeah.
thing with Brady that's crazy is there's no constants. It's just him and Belichick.
Mm-hmm. I don't buy into the stories that there's like discrepancy between the two. I don't buy that.
I don't know. I kind of feel like it's just made up just to like try and cause drama there.
But I can't understand why trading Garoppolo and Brissett. Like,
I don't understand.
Garoppolo.
They shouldn't have traded. They shouldn't have traded Brissett. They should have kept him. I understand trading Garoppolo because they weren't going to be able to keep him because he was a free agent at the end of this year, and.
But I feel like people didn't really know how good Brissett was.
I don't know if he's really that great, but he proved that he could win in their system.
He's one of the better backups.
Yeah, exactly. They should have kept him. I mean, Hoyer's fine as a backup for them, but
yeah,
if he's out for an extended period of time, I don't think Hoyer's winning you games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he went 7-9 with the Browns one year.
Yeah.
So he must be a star.
They started off like they were like 5-2, right?
Yeah, that was the year they were really good. The AFC North was loaded that year. Every team was over 500 halfway through the year.
I like the Ravens this year.
I don't know. I have to see more of them.
Flacco's really picking it up now that he's got Jackson behind him.
That's Flacco for you. He only plays when he's got pressure on him.
Six Smith last year. Oh, that whole team was very good last year.
Yeah. They fell off though.
Yeah, they were like 5-0, and then they were like 5-6 or 6-5.
Yeah, so I'll believe the Chiefs' success this year if they can make it past 5 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they'll slow down, but they're definitely not going to do what they did last year.
I know, I agree.
Unless they trick me again.
It's crazy with the NFL this year. Everything I thought was going to happen is going the opposite way. I mean, look at the Dolphins.
Yeah. Jeez. Although they got destroyed last game.
I know, they got wrecked, but... And the Titans are 3-1.
I like Mike Vrabel.
I do too. I don't know,
I don't like Mariota that much.
I liked him at first, but I don't like him anymore.
Him and Winston really aren't.
Winston
more so. They've been disappointing.
Winston's also undisciplined off the field. He seems like he's a little bit...
Yeah.
And I know that was a problem in college, but he looks like he's gotten worse since he made it to the pros.
I really thought Fitzpatrick was going to keep the job.
I knew he was going to come back down to earth, but I didn't think he'd be that bad that they'd bench him this quickly, because I think they were trying to teach Winston a lesson by benching him. But Fitzpatrick just played so bad.
I thought the Fitzpatrick cycle would continue.
Fitzmagic.
He'd get a big deal next year, and then
I mean, Fitz was good the whole year for the Jets until they needed him to win.
Yeah. We don't talk about that though. He won every single Jet fan over.
I know.
Everyone loved him.
I mean, it's hard for them not to fall in love with him. They hadn't had a quarterback in years.
10-6 was their best record in like 6 years.
When you talk to Jet fans about that year, they act like they won the Super Bowl. That's how great that was for you guys.
It was magical.
A 10-6 playoff miss.
Well, that year there was the Mets. There was the Jets and the Mets.
I know.
That was a good year. And neither team.
Who would think that might have been the peak of the Mets? They may never reach that again.
Yeah.
With that talent they had on that team. That's crazy.
Sad to think about.
It's sad to think about, but I'm starting to think it's going to be a reality.
Yeah. I thought for sure they'd be back.
Like they've been like not even in the playoffs since the year after that.
Yeah, and there's a wild card the year after that.
And after that, they've been just decimated by injuries.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
They go get guys that are never hurt, and even they start getting hurt. Like Todd Frazier. The guy had never been hurt in his career.
Yeah.
He went on the DL twice this year. They're just cursed.
Yeah, I think they're cursed for picking up Tebow, to be honest with
He got hurt too.
you. So Tebow got cursed too.
Remember he tripped on the sprinkler?
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't think that's the injury he was out for the year with, but that was something completely Mets. What is it with them and sprinklers? Tebow trips over the sprinkler. Pedro Martinez pitched in a game, and the sprinklers went on.
That whole organization is just a mess.
They're snake bit. Mets and the Jets are both the same way.
Yeah, that's what you always find Yankees and Giants fans.
And the Knicks are the same way too.
Yeah. Well, the Nets are no better.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know the Knicks are getting Durant, right? I mean, and Kyrie.
He'll stay there for another year after this one. Then I think he's gone.
Put Kyrie to the Knicks.
No, he's definitely. I don't believe those.
What about Butler?
I can see Butler, but that would be kind of a letdown, honestly.
I don't think he's that
Looking
good.
at all these big names, and Butler's good, but
He's good, but I don't think he's like a superstar.
Mhm.
He's a secondary star. Think of how great that team would be. Kyrie, Butler, and Porzingis.
Yeah. I don't even think Porzingis is going to play this year,
That's crazy.
so it'll be really boring.
Well, they got Kevin Knox.
This year in the NBA is going to be weird. Just seeing
I-
LeBron in the Lakers jersey is very weird.
I can't wait till the Warriors dynasty ends. They got to have something different. I don't know what they could do in the NBA to change things around, but like they got to make it so that it can't be such parity. Like 5 All-Stars on one team.
Well, it's the only sport you can do it in.
Not to mention Iguodala on their bench.
Yeah, who's a nice piece on the bench.
He won Finals MVP like 2 years ago, and he's their 6th man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I don't even think Cousins is going to play. I think he's coming back in like February or March.
It was smart in Cousins' idea. Like, he's not going to play most of this year anyway, so why not get a ring, take the cheap money, get your ring, and then go make your big money next year. I saw a rumor saying he wants to play with John Wall because they played in college together.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm hearing.
Could use him.
Yeah. But they have Dwight Howard.
Oh, I forgot about that. Forgot he was even in the league. Although last year he was pretty decent.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's crazy in sports right now.
Yeah, it's exciting though.
This is the best time of year right now with all 4 sports going at once basketball starts.
You got the best postseason, baseball postseason.
Just stinks when your team's not in it.
Yeah.
This would be so exciting if hockey, football, baseball, and basketball were all going and my team was in the playoffs for baseball. It'd be so exciting.
Yeah. Well, you've been spoiled with the Steelers, so.
Well, I mean, I do suffer with the Mets and Islanders, so it's not like
It's true.
Islanders were told by their star player that he was going to return. Don't trade me, I want to come back, and then he doesn't sign with them. So they're in that same category as the Jets, Mets, and Knicks. They all stink.
So the Rangers kind of stink now too, right?
Yeah, but they're not a dysfunctional franchise like the others.
Yeah.
They're just not good right now. Like the Giants aren't great right now, but they're not dysfunctional. But they finally benched Derek Flowers, the thing Giants fans have been waiting for.
Yeah. They are going to regret passing on Darnold.
I completely agree. I think Saquon could be a Hall of Fame talent, but if Darnold's a franchise quarterback for 15 years, it doesn't matter how great Saquon is.
Think about how good that offense would be if they had no line.
I know.
With all those weapons.
Forgetting O-line, if they just had like a solid O-line.
Yeah.
Eli has no time to throw. They just need to get somebody to block. Will Hernandez looks like he's going to be pretty good, but the other side of their line's awful, and now they have no center.
Oh, yeah, because the center got hurt, right?
Yeah, and I don't even think he was that good, but now they have a backup playing. It's crazy. All the teams I thought would be good this year pretty much are doing bad. I know there's always a couple teams that come out of nowhere, but I thought that I knew which teams this year were going to come out of nowhere, but I was wrong. Like, I thought the Colts and Texans would both come out and play well this year. Neither one has. Colts have been all right, but
Texans have been really bad.
instead it's the Titans and the Dolphins and the Bears. I thought the Bears' defense was good, but I didn't realize it was this good.
Trading from getting Mac probably just like created like a whole new energy for the team, honestly.
Speaking of Mac, Gruden's got to keep his mouth shut. He just keeps talking about him and keeps making himself sound worse.
I know.
You see, this week he said, "Oh my God, he had another strip sack. He's really good." Every time he talks about it.
And interceptions or something like that. The Ravens defense.
I know, it's...
The Raiders defense.
You know, it's hard to find a pass rusher, right? It's even harder to find a good one. Like, that's their biggest problem, too. They don't have anyone to pass rush. They have Bruce Irvin, and he's not that good anymore.
I thought for sure they would get a deal done. Like, it's just like absurd thinking that they would let him walk, but they did.
He's so good. How do they let him walk? I mean, I thought the Carr deal was good at the time, but like, if your quarterback's not an absolute stud, you can't let your pass rusher walk.
They had one good year in the past like 4, right? Like
yeah, and he tore his ACL that year.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
So then they had no shot. Would they have to go with Matt McGloin in the playoffs?
Yeah.
I thought Carr was going to be so good. But I liked Bridgewater even more coming out of college that year. I'm wondering if next year's his shot. If they're going to let Breeze go at the end of the year, he's going to retire, and then Bridgewater comes in.
Is his contract up?
I think so. Breeze might retire. Who knows?
If they have a really bad year this year, like if the defense doesn't, like if they go back to being like a 7-9 team, I can definitely see him just retiring.
I agree. And if they win a Super Bowl, I think he'll retire.
Yeah.
If they go to the playoffs and come to like the championship game and lose, I think he's going to come back because it's going to be like, we're so close, I can win another one with this. Like he's got...
How many does he have?
He only has one. He's only been to one, too.
Jeez.
But he's got all the stats.
Yeah. So, right, he's like definitely like top 10, right?
Yeah, definitely. To get in the top 5, he might need more rings, but...
Yeah.
I think the only guys who have not enough rings to make it to the top 5 are Marino and Rodgers, probably.
No, if Marino had one,
He'd be probably the second best all time if he had one, because he was that good. I don't know. I don't even know who I would put at my top 5 quarterbacks. I'd probably put Marino, Rodgers, Brady, Montana, and I don't even know who my other guy would be. Maybe Elway?
Was that in order?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have Montana 1, so. And then Brady 2.
Yeah, no, I got Brady 1.
I'm still not giving it to him. If he wins another, I can't deny him, but the 4 Super Bowls with no interceptions is a pretty impressive stat to me.
For Montana?
Yeah, never threw a pick in a Super Bowl.
Yeah. For me, I don't really care about the record that you have in championship games. Like, it all comes down to how many you have.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, people talk about, like, LeBron's, like, 3 and,
Was he like 3-6 or something?
Yeah, I don't care how many losses he gets because it's just impressive to make it there. But
Yeah.
I'm not taking points away from him for losing those finals, but I'm not. I don't know. You have to win the finals for them to be really
Yeah.
impressive. He's not going to ever catch Jordan. He's never going to be better than Jordan because he's never going to get 6 rings.
Really? You got Jordan 1?
Yeah, you still have LeBron now?
Yeah, I don't see him winning a ring with LA though.
I don't see him having a shot at winning a ring because there's no way he's topping Golden State. And I don't know if they're disbanding in the next 2-3 years. And if they do, I think Boston's much better than LeBron's team.
Boston, Golden State would be very nice.
Boston beat LeBron last year when LeBron had Kevin Love without Kyrie or Gordon Hayward. So now they've got both of them back. I don't see a shot that LeBron would beat them.
Did you see what Tristan Thompson on the Cavs said?
No, what'd he say?
He said something like, "We're still the team to beat. We're the Eastern Conference champions last year."
Well, yeah, they've got Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson and
Yeah.
Kyle Korver.
JR.
Oh, yeah, he's the star. I saw some fan said that LeBron screwed up JR. He wrecked his career. If it wasn't for LeBron, JR would have been such a star. That's still probably the most terrible play in, like, finals, Super Bowl, World Series, like, history. How do you run out backwards? Like,
Horrible.
how do you not know how much time's on the clock?
LeBron was wide open on the 3-point line too.
I know, and it's not like it's anyone. It's LeBron.
Yeah.
Forget just that. Why didn't Smith put it up himself? He was in the paint. It's crazy thinking that one play like that, and that changed the whole complexion of the series because if
Was that like game 2?
I think it was game 1.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually.
Not that they would have beat them,
Yeah.
but
I don't think it.
that series was over after that play. It just completely.
Also, LeBron, understandably, threw a giant fit after that.
I know.
I totally understand why, but that probably didn't help either.
I know. I understand why, but he should have like kept it more in control. He shouldn't have done it. Didn't he like break his hand or something?
Yeah, there's like the whole like hand controversy thing. Like the week after he lost the finals, he was like, "Oh yeah, my hand was like almost broken."
It's like when Brady got stitches for whatever he did. I hate when they use that stuff as like an excuse.
Did you see the picture of his thumb though? Like,
Yeah, that was nasty. All right, I will talk to you guys next week. Thank you for listening to The Blitz with Scott Long and Gabe Oldshine. Thank you.